Good morning to one and all. Myself is Nagarajni, dealing with the course of thermal engineering. One in the topic is characteristic gas equation. The outline of my presentation is equation or state or characteristic gas equation, universal gas constant, other forms of gas equation. In that characteristic gas equation, what is the why we need the characteristic gas equation? In thermodynamics, heat energy gets converted into mechanical energy. Means disorganic form of heat gets converted into organic form of work. So for conversion of heat into work, we need a substance. That is either we can use a gas or a steam for the conversion process. If we consider a gas, it should have a law. That law is known as a perfect gas law or characteristic gas equation or equation of the motion. So there are two assumptions for the characteristic gas equation. In that, first one is intermediate molecular force of attraction is negligible. That means the force of the molecules in between the molecules in which we are taken is very negligible. And the second assumption is volume of molecules is negligible as compared to the volume of the container. Means volume of the molecules is very small when compared to the volume of a container. So characteristic gas equation is of the two forms. First one is on mass basis and second one is on the molar basis. Now we are going to derive an equation for the mass basis. So in engineering practice, pressure, volume and temperature are the three parameters varying simultaneously. So for conversion of this any process, so there are the three parameters varying, that is pressure, volume and temperature. In order to establish the relation between the three variables which are in the equation form, means for getting the relation between the pressure, volume and temperature, we are getting a general equation. This general equation is known as characteristic gas equation or equation of the motion. So how do we derive this characteristic equation? So determining of the characteristic gas equation, for determining we have a beaker in which the beaker is filled with the gas and there is a piston. So the initial pressure of the gas is P1 and initial temperature is T1 and initial volume is V1. So for conversion of initial conditions to final condition. So in final condition, P2 is final pressure, T2 is final temperature and V2 is final volume. So for the conversion of initial condition to the final condition, there are two stages. It occurs the process in two stages. That is stage 1 and stage 2. From stage 1 to stage 2, there is an intermediate condition. Okay. So that means for conversion of initial condition to final condition, there is an intermediate condition. Along with the intermediate condition, there are two stages, stage 1 and stage 2. So we'll discuss about the stage 1. So stage 1 means initial conditions is converting into intermediate conditions. So in stage 1, it applies two laws. Sorry, in characteristic gas equation, it applies two laws. That is Boyle's law and Charles' law. So in Boyle's and Charles, it gives a simple relation between the two variables by keeping the third parameter as a constant. So if we consider the Boyle's law, there are three parameters varying: pressure, volume and temperature, in which temperature remains constant. So what are the two parameters varying? Pressure and volume. So in Boyle's law, temperature remains constant, volume is inversely proportional to the pressure. So that means temperature remains constant. So temperature T1 remains constant in initial condition and intermediate condition. And the two parameters changing are pressure and volume. So the pressure changes from P1 to P2. So P1 to P2 pressure changes. And the volume remains constant in initial, and the intermediate changes the values as V. So the initial condition volume is V, and the intermediate condition volume is V. So T1 remains as constant, pressure changes from P1 to P2, and volume changes from V1 to V. So the basic equation of Boyle's law is PV remains constant. So if we consider a process initial condition to the final condition, so it has two ends, initial and intermediate. So P1 V1 is equal to P2 V. So we have to calculate the intermediate volume. So V is equal to P1 V1 by P2. This equation is represented by equation 1. And second stage, what is the second stage? So intermediate conditions gets converted into the final condition in the second stage. So in the second stage, the basic law is Charles law. So in Charles law, the pressure remains constant and volume is directly proportional to the temperature. Means pressure remains constant, and the volume and temperature are the two parameters varying from intermediate condition to the final condition. So pressure P2 remains constant in initial and final condition, and the temperature changes from T1 to T2, and the volume changes from V to V2. Okay. So the basic equation of Charles law is V by T is equal to constant. But this equation becomes from intermediate and final condition can be written as, in intermediate condition V by T1 is equal to final condition V2 by T2. So we have to calculate the intermediate condition volume. So V is equal to V2 T1 by T2. So this is the second equation. In equation 1, we can volume is a constant in RHS, LHS side, and in second equation also volume remains constant in LHS term. So equating equation 1 and 2, so RHS should be equal. So RHS for equation 1 is P1 V1 by P2, and for equation 2 is V2 T1 by T2. Getting the initial conditions at one side and final condition in another side, we will get the equation as P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. Okay, this is the final equation. So final equation is P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. So if we consider initial and final condition, so if we consider only one condition, that is PV by T is equal to constant. So this constant is represented by the letter R. R is called as characteristic gas constant. So R is called as characteristic gas constant. So PV by T is equal to R. So PV is equal to RT. Okay. If we consider mass of the gas is involved in the process. Okay. So mass is considered in the process. PV is equal to MRT. Here P is known as absolute pressure of the gas. The units of the absolute pressure is Newton per meter square. And V is the volume of the gas. Volume units is meter cube. And T is absolute temperature of the gas. Temperature units is Kelvin. And small m is the mass of the gas. The mass units is kg. So the above equation is called as characteristic gas equation. The gas equation which is assumed to obey the gas equations, that is both Boyle's law and Charles law, and has a constant specific heat, is called as a ideal perfect gas. Means the characteristic gas equation should obey both the two laws, Boyle's and Charles law, by keeping the specific heats as a constant. So that equation is known as ideal perfect gas. So units of R. In the above equation, PV is equal to MRT. R is a constant. So that R is called as a characteristic gas constant. So we have to in this we are deriving the units of characteristic gas constant. We know the ideal gas equation as PV is equal to MRT. From that ideal gas equation, R is equal to PV by MT. So R is equal to PV by MT. What are the units of the pressure? Newton per meter square. Volume units is meter cube. And mass units is kg. Temperature units is Kelvin. Okay. In numerator, by cancelling the terms meter cube by meter square, we will get as meter. So in the numerator, the unit is Newton meter. In the denominator, we will get kg Kelvin. So the units of R is Newton meter per kg Kelvin. Newton meter is also known as joules. So joule per kg Kelvin is the another unit of R. If we consider the pressure in terms of kilonewton per meter square, then the units of R becomes kilonewton meter per kg Kelvin or kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So this is the units of R. And other forms of gas equation. So there are another two forms of gas equation in terms of density and the specific volume. Okay, we know that characteristic gas equation is PV is equal to MRT. So P is equal to M by V into RT, where M is known as mass and V is known as volume. So the ratio of volume, mass by volume is known as density of a gas. So density of a gas is represented by the letter rho, and the units of density is kg per meter cube. So pressure P is equal to, by replacing the value of M by V as rho, so P is equal to rho RT. So is another form of gas equation. Similarly, another form of gas equation is PV. From the ideal gas equation, we know that PV is equal to MRT. By getting the mass terms from LHS side to RHS side, we'll get the equation as P into V by M is equal to RT. So P into V by M is equal to RT. So the ratio of volume of the gas to the mass of the gas is known as specific volume of the gas. So specific volume of the gas is represented by the letter small v. Volume is represented by the letter capital V and the specific volume is represented by the letter small v. The units of V is meter cube per kg. So by replacing the value of V by M as small v, we'll get substituting in the above equation, we'll get the equation as P into V is equal to RT. So there are the three forms of the characteristic gas equation. First one is PV is equal to MRT. In second equation is P is equal to rho into RT. And the third form is P into V is equal to RT, where V is equal to specific volume of a gas. So these are the various forms of a gas in terms of the mass. And the value of gas constant for important gases. So here from the tabular form, we are considering various gas with molecular weights. Molecular weights is represented by the letter capital M, and gas constant capital R. The unit of capital R is kilojoule per kg Kelvin, and there are specific heats. So specific heat in the matter is of the three forms: solid, liquid and gases. For solids and liquids, there are one specific heat. When we consider the gas, we have two specific heats, that is specific heat at constant pressure and specific heat at constant volume. So specific heat at constant pressure is represented by the letter Cp, and specific heat at constant volume is represented by the letter Cv. So before going to this, what is meant by a specific heat? Specific heat is represented as the amount of the gas is heated. If 1 kg of gas is considered, if it heated, it expands at 1 degree centigrade. That is known as the specific heat. That means the heat required by the unit mass of a substance to raise a temperature by 1 degree is called as a specific heat. Specific heat is also called as heat capacity of the substance. So specific heat is represented by the letter capital C. There are two specific heats we already discussed. So when we consider the air, its molecular weight is 29 and the gas constant is 0.287 and the specific heat value is 1.005 and the specific volume is 0.718. And if we consider the oxygen molecular weight is 32 and the gas constant is 0.260 and the Cp value is 0.92 kilojoule per kg Kelvin and Cv value is 0.66 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. If we consider the hydrogen, its molecular weight is 2 and its gas constant R is 4.15 kilojoule per kg Kelvin and specific heat of hydrogen is 14.4 and specific heat of the specific heated constant volume is 10.25. And if we consider the nitrogen, its molecular weight is 28 and its value of R as to 0.294 and Cp value is 1.046 and Cv value is 0.749. And if we consider the carbon monoxide, the molecular weight is 44 and specific gas constant value is 0.189 and specific heated constant pressure Cp value is 0.84, Cv value is 0.651. We consider mainly air only. And universal gas constant. In the previous we discussed about the universal gas constant in terms of mass. If we consider in terms of the moles, the general form of characteristic gas equation is PV is equal to MRT, where M is equal to mass of the gas in kg. So mass of the gas is represented as product of number of moles and molecular weight. So capital M is equal to small n into capital M, where n is equal to number of moles, that is consider mass in kgs. So we consider moles as kilomoles. So n is equal to number of kilomoles. Capital M is equal to molecular weight. So molecular weight unit is kg per kilomole. So the characteristic equation is represented as replacing the value of M as small n into capital M, PV is equal to NMRT. So the product of molecular weight and the characteristic gas equation is known as universal gas constant. So M into capital M as universal gas constant and it is represented by RU. So in terms of ideal gas equation, in terms of universal gas constant, the above equation can be written as PV is equal to N into M into R can be represented as RU. So PV is equal to NRU into T. So universal gas equation can be represented as RU is equal to PV by NT. So the value of universal gas constant is 8.314 kilojoule per mole Kelvin or 8,314 joule per kg Kelvin. By replacing the values at standard normal conditions, absolute pressure as 1 atmosphere, volume as 22.3 meter cube, and temperature in 0 Kelvin, and number of moles if we consider for an air is 25. So replacing this value, we'll get the value of R as 8.314. And this first problem is a gas occupies a volume of 0.13 meter cube at a temperature of 27 degrees centigrade and a pressure of 2 bar absolute. Find the final temperature of the gas if it is compressed to a pressure of 12 bars absolute and occupies to a volume of 0.005 meter cube. So this is the problem. In this problem, it is defined as initial volume is 0.1 meter cube and the condition is temperature is 27 degrees centigrade. So the initial pressure is P1 is 2 bar and the gas is compressed. So by compressing the gas, its conditions changes from initial to final condition. So after the compression, the pressure is, final pressure is 12 bars and the volume occupies is 0.005 meter cube. So meter cube represents the volume and bar represents the units of pressure. So this is the given data. Before the compression, initial volume of gas is V1 is considered as 0.01 meter cube and the initial temperature of the gas is T1 as 27 degrees centigrade. We have to convert degree centigrade in terms of Kelvin. So 1 degree centigrade is equal to 273 Kelvin. So 27 plus 273, that is equal to 300 Kelvin. And initial pressure P1 as 2 bars. So after compression, the pressure increases from P1 to P2, that is from 2 bars to 12 bars, and the volume also increases from V1 to V2. So that is 0.01 meter cube to 0.05 meter cube. So we have to calculate the temperature T2. For calculating the final temperature after the compression, we know the characteristic gas equation as PV by T is equal to constant. We consider before compression and after compression, that is initial and final condition. P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. From that, T2 becomes P2 V2 T1 by P1 P1. So by substituting the values of pressure, final volume, initial temperature, initial pressure and initial volume, pressure as 12 bars, volume as 0.005 bars, temperature as 300 Kelvin, pressure as 2 bar and volume as 0.01 meter cube. So we'll get the final temperature as 300 Kelvin. So final temperature of the compressor A T2 is equal to 900 Kelvin. We have to convert degree Kelvin in terms of degree centigrade. So 1 degree Kelvin is equal to minus 273 degrees centigrade. So 900 minus 273, that is equal to 627 degree centigrade. So in this session, we'll discuss about the characteristic gas equation in terms of both mass and molar. That is equal to PV is equal to MRT and PV is equal to NMRT, and the units of universal gas constant and the various gas constant with tabular forms and problem 1. In our next session, we'll discuss about the various problems of universal gas constant. Thank you.